In a series of tweets Friday morning, President Trump made the case that the new tariffs imposed overnight on China will bring in far more wealth to our country, arguing China is now paying billions into the Treasury as a result. But economists say those tariffs are paid not by China, but by you, the consumer. So while tariffs on imported steel may be good for the U.S. steel industry, adding an estimated 12,000 jobs since they were launched, the reality is it's an industry whose workers are outnumbered 80-1 by those in the industries that use steel and aluminum in their products. And those industries, economists say, are now paying about 10% more for steel, costing the economy $11.5 billion a year. That means each of those new steel jobs is costing consumers about $900,000 a job.
I do think that China needs to play by the rules, and they haven't.
Senator Rob Portman says he knows the impact the tariffs have had, but he recognizes the need to take a firm stand with China.
The president has talked about keeping the tariffs in place to force the Chinese to come to the table. I think it's going to work because it seems to have worked so far to get them to make concessions in the negotiations they have never made before.
That being said, he believes at this stage, with China at the table, taking the tariffs further may not be the route to go.
I've encouraged them to reduce the tariffs that are now in place immediately because we'll get a better agreement that way.
Senator Sherrod Brown says the problem with the president's stance is it's one he has taken alone.
He's played it solo so that China just doesn't have to. China's behavior doesn't change much with our tariffs, and so the tariffs are potentially hurting our economy and our farmers especially.
Yes, Ohio farmers have taken a major hit. This time last year, China was buying more than a third of Ohio's soybeans, a market that has essentially dried up. The president promising Friday to buy up those crops in amounts larger than China and ship them off to poor and starving countries. Senator Portman is hopeful something else will happen.
We've got to reopen that market, and we're so close. My hope is we'll be able to have that agreement in the next few weeks.
John Kasich, News 5.